In this video, I'm looking at the follow-up to the legendary Letshuoer S12. Today we're going dynamic. This is the Letshuoer D13. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So yes, the S12 was a smashing success. This one tries to give us something different. Single dynamic driver, 13mm, so it's a fairly large driver. And while it does have some similarities with the S12, it's definitely a very different beast. Starting off, of course, with the build and the shape. You can see it's completely different type of shell. These are made from an aluminium alloy. They are pretty darn small. They fit really nicely in my ears. We've got 2-pin connectors, 0.78mm connectors. One interesting thing about these is the nozzles are actually filters, so you can unscrew them, take them out just like so. And there are 2 filters. There are these silver ones and some gold ones. And basically what the gold ones do, they add a little bit more zest in the upper mid-range and tighten up the bass a little bit. So the silver ones are slightly more warmer, a little bit more relaxed. But these shells are fantastic. They're beautiful. They are super comfortable. You can see the nozzles. There's a good bit of length on the nozzles there. So plenty of space to get a nice secure fit in your ears. Let's have a look quickly at this cable because it's pretty nice. It is a monocrystalline copper cable. It's available in either 3.5 or 4.4mm termination. Not a lot to say about it, but it is a pretty nice cable. By the way, one more thing I want to mention is check out the color coding on the earphones there. That's nice. Matching with the colors on the ends of the 2-pin connectors on the cable there. So that is pretty cool. But have a look at this. This is how powerful the magnets are. You can't even sit them next to each other. Well, you can. Obviously, I can't be trusted. But proven by Scientology, if you move them a bit closer together, look at that. Oh, that's how powerful these magnets are inside. So there is, yes, some definitely powerful driving force there for your bass. But we'll get into that. And by the way, the price of the D13 here is $112. And also, these are a very efficient IEM. The impedance is 16 ohms, I think, but these are a lot louder than most other IEMs. I usually have to turn the volume down if I'm using these. I just thought I'd throw that in there. But anyway, the D13 has a warm and natural sound signature. Its bass is elevated considerably, and the 13mm diamond-like carbon or DLC driver packs quite a punch. The upper treble is a little bit lifted, not too much, adding some detail, pretty good detail, and some spice up top. As a result, the mids are slightly recessed, and they are fairly neutral in tone. Let's throw up that graph now. There you go. Don't be afraid of that peak around 8 or 9 kilohertz. That is not an issue. These are smooth. I'll tell you that right now. So let's talk about the bass though. The D13 has a classic dynamic driver bass. It is punchy and it hits with impact. Slightly rounded leading edges and a medium pace decay give bass notes natural weight and body. D13 puts a bit of extra power in the sub bass compared to the mid bass, although it's fairly linear, but that large driver has good low end extension too, and as a result the D13 produces some excellent powerful rumble. The mid bass can hit pretty hard too. I don't think they're anywhere near bass head level, but you could probably be a bass head and be satisfied because the quality is there, and yes, the quantity is lifted, but not to massive or ridiculous levels. It is a controlled but a fun bass, and there's only a tiny little bit of bleed into the lower mids. And speaking of the mid-range, it sits just behind the bass and it kind of sits in line with the treble. Despite being slightly recessed, the mid-range notes have good body and presence. Vocals sound engaging with a natural body and warmth to them. The clarity in the mid-range is good, aided largely by that 8 kHz peak, which adds articulation and definition. I don't find the upper mids shouty at all, even with the gold filters in place. The lower mids could perhaps use a little bit added separation from the bass, but overall, these do a well-crafted mid-range. Now for the treble, the D13's sound is largely defined by its treble tuning. The highs are smooth but detailed, even if they fall off a little too fast. As a result of that steady treble roll-off, the sound lacks a bit of airiness up top. There's no noticeable sibilance or sharpness in the highs. It might not be sparkling or zesty, but it's a safe and a non-fatiguing treble tuning. And while that 8 kHz peak does add some sharpness to percussion attacks, most instruments have softer edges. It's not the most precise or accurate treble, but it is pleasant to listen to, and it is one that I enjoy. And the D13 creates a fairly interesting soundstage. There is a lot of forward depth in the stage, but it is reasonably narrow in terms of width. Despite that, however, the stage doesn't sound cluttered or congested. In fact, it sounds organized and spacious, even if it's not the most expansive soundstage. There's pretty good spacing and openness in the sound, thanks to good driver speed and control. The imaging, however, is a little vague, and that's down to the narrowness of the stage, but the good instrument separation helps to maintain a nice clean sound. Now, compared to the S12 here, these actually graph very similarly. They look almost identical in the graph, but they do sound a lot different. The D13 definitely has more of a dynamic driver bass sound. You can really feel that air moving. The S12, it's got the bass tone, it's got the reach, and it's a powerful bass as well, but it doesn't move quite as much air. It's more about the tone of it. Apart from that, the instrument separation and overall resolution is superior on the S12, of course, being a planar with its super fast transients, etc. And it is a little bit edgier in the highs as well, a little more lively in the treble, although I don't consider these sharp. Some people do. I suspect a lot of people who think these are sharp or sibilant are not getting a proper seal with their ear tips, but nonetheless, I digress. Yeah, brighter in the highs, cleaner in the mids, perhaps a little slightly more forward in the mid-range as well, and tighter in the bass, but it doesn't kind of move as much air. It doesn't give you that same sense of impact as the D13 does. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Letshuoer D13. I think these are a really good IEM, very solid all-rounders. I love the build and the fit. I do like the sound as well. They're not the most technical pair, but these ones are all about the tonality, just kicking back and relaxing or going out for a ride. Some nice, healthy, meaty bass going on, non-fatiguing highs, and enough clarity in the mid-range. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. I've got my affiliate links and links to all my social media channels. And if you are new to the channel and you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.